Hi everyone, so welcome back. Hope you've had a chance to have a go at that exercise now. I'm sure you all agree that was huge fun. So we're going to go through the answers now. I appreciate it's probably a little mundane doing this exercise. Um, I'm going to put the answers up there. I'll go through a few of them, but I think probably not the lot. So we've got the first word, the being a determiner, grey being an adjective, horse being a noun, in is a prep, the again being a determiner, etc., etc. So I'll leave that off. Feel free to pause the video if anything is unclear or you think that any of that is wrong, or you disagree with it, then please contact me on Slack and let me know why you think you've got a different answer. But hopefully this is all sort of backed up with checks that I've made with the dictionary as well. So okay, so we've talked a lot about grammar so far. Let's move on to the next stage if we're going to be looking for named entities. And it's the concept of parsing. So parsing refers to the process of breaking down a sentence into its component parts, and describing the syntactic roles of each of those components. So as an example, through parsing, we could identify the noun phrases in some text and the pos tags. And when we undertake parsing, we commonly use things called regular expressions, which help us in the parsing process and allow us to specify the kind of rules that we're going to need when we're applying parsing. So what do we mean by a regular expression? Well, a regular expression, or regex, is a sequence of characters that define a search pattern. So they're used in lots of applications, including things like search engines. So you may have seen when you go to things like Google, Bing, etc. You may have seen before some of the regular expression-based searches. You may be familiar with something known as the wildcard, which is essentially where you use an asterisk to denote anything, and use that as a search pattern. But there's lots more to regular expressions than that. But essentially, they're used to define the rules for the pattern of text that you want to search for. And when we're parsing, we can use these regular expressions to specify the rules for identifying certain syntactic structures within sentences. So here's an example, just to give that a bit more meaning. So when we're forming regular expressions, we use certain syntax. And I'm not going to go through this in detail. If you're really interested in regular expressions, you can read about them. They're not everybody's cup of tea, let's just say. But here are some of the most common syntactic elements of regular expressions. So we use curly brackets to denote the start and end of a regular expression. We use the format here where we see VBD. That just means that's a type of pos tag that we're looking for. In this case, that means verb past tense. And there's lots of different codes that we use there. Where we've got X question mark, that just means optionally match X. So you can have an X, but there may also not be an X there, so whatever X is. So it might be, for example, an optional adjective followed by a noun. X plus means match a sequence of one or more X's. So that needs to be at least one of whatever X is, but there can be one or more. X asterisk is basically match 0 or more X's. So you match however many of this type of thing. So we may have, I don't know, 3 nouns in a row, but also it's okay if you match no nouns. The X with the line and then Y basically just means match X or Y. So in this part you could match a noun or a pronoun, for example. We use the full stop, so match any character, and the normal brackets, parentheses, to treat whatever it is in X as a group. So, for example, we could use this kind of syntax to find definitive noun phrases. So, um, one, as we've seen previously, a noun phrase can just consist of a noun, um, a single noun, which is obviously the head noun as well. So we could use that to specify this rule here, where we're just the top rule, where we're just looking at finding a noun. So you need to find a noun, but obviously that's not going to find all noun phrases because they may have adjectives in front of them. So we could also specify using the second rule. JJ stands for adjective, and we've put a question mark, which if you look at the syntax above, remember that means to match that optionally. So that says match an optional adjective followed by a noun. Can anybody spot any problems with this approach? What I want you to do is just spend 5 minutes or so just having a think, maybe chat over Slack, throw around some ideas. Have a think about any potential issues you might envisage with using this approach for trying to find our definite noun phrases so we can find our named entities. That's, after all, the ultimate goal of what we're trying to do. Once you've done that, once you've had a think and a discussion, then move on to the next video and we'll take it from there.